All right, can we stand up one more time to recharge our batteries before we head into the next interesting topic? All right, you know the drill, right? On my mark. 1, 2, 3. All right. Faster, 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 faster. That's the sound. All right. One more time with the sound this time. 1, 2, 3. High. Clap. Right. Now the blood pressure is kicking in, right? Good. Keep that really high. Okay. Our next speaker, let me invite Mr. Nalin de Abrew, Head of User Experience Design and Assurance at Dialog Axiata PLC. Okay, while this is being done, a couple of announcements again. The questions, if you have any questions, you can scan it. And also there is a small leaf, kind of a greenish sticks like this. This is you can use to say your gratitude, so any appreciation about the speakers or about anyone, a person sitting next to you. Please write something on this, and you can go and paste it. There's a gratitude tree there at the entrance. Please do that. Very encouraging to anyone. I mean, people like to get feedback, right? I mean, the world is driven through feedback, so please give your feedback.
Good evening, everyone. From the gents in the room, can I get a loud hello? Hello? From the ladies in the crowd, can I get a loud hi? Hi. Thank you. When you were small, did you want to have an ambition to get a job? Not like the normal engineer, doctor, but some far-fetched thing like an astronomer, a fighter jet pilot. Anyone? So I wanted to be a detective, but that didn't turn out even remotely close. But now what happened last week, or 25th March, when ChatGPT rolled out their new image generation version, what I did was I quickly went and became a detective. I know it made me look a bit more older, but yeah. But then I tried the usual stuff, trying out the various styles, and finally I went back into my domain, and I started creating screens. So these 3 screens took less than maybe 3 minutes: a finance app, e-commerce, and a meditation app. Now, when this happened, creating user interfaces like this was there from maybe last year. But coming into ChatGPT, what it did was it democratized it. Anyone can do it. Now, the next week when I went into office, I knew what was coming, because the people said, Nalin, now you don't need much time, right? You just put to ChatGPT, get the screens. Can we reduce the timeline? So that is where we need to learn AI to know what it can do and also what it can't do. What can't do is especially needed, especially when you're in cross-functional teams. You need to know with the others also what they are capable of and what they are not capable of. So today we will be looking into the UX design process, but also, since yesterday I think in the UX presentation they did a poll and there were only 1% of UX individuals, and half of that was me. I am tuning this. I will go through the process, but I'll be touching things that it could apply to anyone. Anyone can use it. So let's get into it. So we'll be doing a crash course in prompt engineering. How many of you all have done a course in prompt engineering? Oh, there's 1, 2, great. So this will be your first course today. Then I'll be going through the UX design process and how we can enhance the design process as well. Okay, hi, I'm Nalin. To introduce myself, I am working at Dialog Axiata. I'm heading the user experience and assurance team. I first started as an engineer, then went into product, 4 years in product, and then 8 years in design. So that's the not so interesting part about me. So interesting part is I like to read. I like to play board games, really like spending time, and also gaming, though I'm semi-retired because with the time I have, hardly any time for games. Okay, quiz time. So from all what we learned yesterday, just kidding, this is just a fun quiz. And I came into a bit of a problem when the previous speaker did a quiz and he gave gifts, and I was just going to give an applause for my winner. So I might not have a gift now, but I will give a gift. So please scan. Okay, so we are almost at the number of players. So just to give how this works, I'll be giving an application. Say, for example, rice cooker. You have to say whether it's real or science fiction. Rice cooker is real. But say, time machine, science fiction. So like that, I'll be giving one. You all have to guess whether it's real or science fiction. Anyone needs more time? Everyone joined in? Shall we start? Yes. So is this real or science fiction? Okay, this is real. There are smart mirrors which checks your skin and gives you skincare advice. Okay, we have Shiham leading. A coffee machine that adjusts caffeine levels based on your stress and sleep data. This is science fiction, so although there are things that measures your stress and that, it's not yet connected with that. Okay, let's see who's leading now. Okay, Nilanga is there, Dasunjay and Sue. Let's go. An app that lets you relive all of someone else's memories. Okay, most of you have got that. It's science fiction, but there's this new company called WIST, W-I-S-T, they are doing it so you can record memories, and through the VR goggles, then you'll be able to see it, but still it's in the works. But it's a good product to check out. Let's see who's leading. Okay, still Nilanga is going strong, Saroni and Dasunje. A dating app that uses your DNA to find a match. This is actually real. There was an app which you can submit DNA. It was going good, but then Apple had to take it out of the App Store due to some threat of biohacking or something like that. So after that, it didn't do well, but it was there. Okay, Nisal is there on top, Shiham going strong on second, and Jay third. A shopping cart that follows you around the store and auto-charges your account. Yeah, most of you have got it correct. Yeah. Let's see. So Shiham going strong in number 1, then it's Nisal, and third J. City-wide system that redirects foot traffic using predictive AI. Okay, this is science fiction, although there are places where maybe for a junction where they analyze the pedestrians and do some traffic thing. Still, there is no implementation of a city-wide version. Okay, the same 3 players are on the top. A treadmill that changes your speed and incline based on the heart rate. Yes, it's real. Most of you have got that correct. There's Nordic track, and others which, as you go and your heart rate, and depending on that, it changes the inclination. Okay, it's a tough game for first place. And the last one, it's anybody's game. A fridge that locks itself when you exceed your daily calorie goal. Okay, this is science fiction. If it was there, would also be a problem. But yeah, in the near future, it will be tied. But still, there is no application for a fridge like this. Okay, let's see who has won. Well done, Shiham. So Shiham first, Nisal second, Nilanga third. So I think Shiham. Nisal, is that correct? And Nilanga? That's Nilanga. Okay, Nilanga, let's give him also a round of applause. So I will get back to you with the gifts. Don't you worry. Now we are going to do a crash course in prompt engineering. Why? Because this is needed for the next few items. And if you do have your laptops, please, it would be good if you can take it out. Or if not, even your phone, we can do certain activities through your phone as well. Okay. What is a prompt? So every one of you all know prompt is that small little bit of words we put into ChatGPT and ChatGPT, Claude, Perplexity, everything. So why do we need prompt engineering? Why do we need to learn how to do better prompts? Why is prompt engineering becoming a thing now? Anyone? So basically the output that comes from the AI depends on what you tell them in those little words. And knowing us, we also like to put as minimum as possible. So learning prompt engineering will make the output that much more accurate and that much more closer to what you intend. So there are two types of prompts, vague prompts, which we normally do. I'm also guilty most of the time, and structured prompts. Vague prompts won't give all the details, where structured prompts gives more context, what you do, what's the situation, what sort of output you want. So let's look at some examples. Say you have to give a presentation to some kids on how the internet works. So you might put to ChatGPT, explain how the internet works. That's vague. Whereas a structured one would be create a fun and simple presentation explaining how the internet works, designed for 8-year-olds. Use kid-friendly language. So you would know the second one obviously would give better details. But let's look at another example which will clearly show the difference. So the vague prompt is an image of a team being agile. And the structured prompt, a bit more realistic photo, people are there, Kanban board, office environment. So let's see the results. So vague prompt and structured prompt. Vague prompt, image of team being agile. So this is what it do. And a structured one, more. Only maybe problem is why everyone is smiling. So as you can see, there's a big difference depending on how you prompt. So there are various methods we can use to make this better. So I use something called the PACER framework. If you check the net, on the internet or even ChatGPT itself, there are quite a lot of frameworks where you make it structured. You first, P is the persona. You define who you are acting as, the activity, what you're going to do, context of the whole prompt, examples and references, and response format. Let's take an example of the earlier one. So on that prompt where you're trying to get a presentation done for kids, as a creative educator for children, that's the persona you're acting as. Activity, create a fun, kid-friendly presentation that explains how the internet works. Context, where it's going to be, it will be a presentation, will be shown in a classroom. Examples, so you can reference other popular kids' educational sites, programs, then it'll get information from that as well. And response format, really important. Structure your output as 6 slides and suggest images for each slide as well. So this is a method you can follow to improve your structure. So we'll be doing an activity on this, but before that, now, when you go into prompt engineering, there are a lot of things. Prompt chaining, iteration, libraries, negative prompts, hallucination, meta-prompting, biases. We don't have time for all, but we'll be doing a couple of the important ones. A prompt library. Okay, so a prompt library is where you have your own, or your company has a list of prompts that you use the most. In a shared database, it could be Notion, it could be something else. Why we need this is because every time we are not going to write that Pacer network. We write it and then we should save it. So the next time we are using it, we can just copy and paste it. So this is something, if you don't have for your company or your team right now, it's something I would advise to start right away. And if you don't have for yourself also, that also I'll advise for you to start right away. Like, have you started your own prompt library? So there might be a QR code on your tables, a colored sheet of paper. In that, there's a sample prompt library with just 3 prompts on a meeting minutes, then a LinkedIn recommendation, and one more thing. You all can take it and build on that. So you all can just take those 3 prompts. So you then have started your prompt library, and then continue to build it, because it will improve your efficiency, effectiveness of using all these tools, because everything you do is there. Because I'm sure you all have done some great prompts in the past. Now it's buried somewhere in the history of ChatGPT. So whenever you get a good prompt done, take it and put it into your library. And in your team, you can have segregated for maybe business analysts, project managers, like that. You can have the prompts. Then you have cross-team synergies as well, because each one will make their own prompts, and you will have a library of really good prompts. So we have a set at our division for user experience, certain number of prompts. So after the prompts, getting people to use it also is a challenge, but it's a start. But your one, it's still in your control. Let's do it today and keep building the prompt library. Second thing is hallucinations. That's when AI tells you an answer and he's dead certain this is correct and convinces you also. So I remember for a word puzzle, I wanted a word, 5-letter word with certain letters. It gives me a 6-letter words. I said, I need a 5-letter word. He said, sorry. And he gave another word, again 6 letters. So they would make mistakes, but they will convince you. They are super confident. This is the correct answer. So you have to put references. You have to check. That's why checking with things like Perplexity is good, because they have the references there itself. So there are certain things how you can avoid hallucination, which you could learn on. And hallucinations is why they say for you not to take any output from the AI and use it as it is, because it could be wrong. Because from here, who are you going to be? Do you want to be Batman or Robin? Either you can be AI to become Batman and you can be Robin, or you can be Batman and let AI be Robin. So you have to be Batman. You have to be the pilot. AI has to be the co-pilot. Otherwise, things will go wrong. Okay. Now we are at the first activity. Either you can write it on a piece of paper or in ChatGPT. So the vague prompt is icebreakers for a workshop. Now use the Pacer framework and see whether you can break this into a structured prompt. Maybe I'll give you all 2 minutes. So I'll even put the Pacer framework. So I'll put like this. If you can make icebreakers for a workshop. Say you're doing a workshop here, Agile workshop, and you need 10 icebreaker ideas. How would you create it? Can I? So 2 minutes. And it would be good if you can first put icebreakers for workshop and you see the output, then your structured prompt and the output. So there are no right or wrong answers because each prompt is different and unique. But I would like if someone could just share. Or you can hand over a paper to me and I will share it. Anyone would like to share? Okay, so you can do it like act as, anyone wants to volunteer? Yes. Okay, this one. Yeah. List 3 icebreaker ideas to be performed in a corporate team outing in Sri Lanka, including sample images. Great one. Let's give a round of applause. What's your good name? Sanjeeva. Thank you, Sanjeeva. So you could have something like act as a expert workshop facilitator, create 10 engaging icebreakers for a agile workshop. Context, there are 100 people here. Examples, you can say get from top companies like Google, response format, give me 10 in bullet points, 10 of them. Okay. Let's quickly move on. UX design process. UX, you all would have got a great understanding from yesterday's session. Quick recap. So UX, how they say, what you experience, how you feel. If you can remember, when you get up and if you love coffee, just thinking of your coffee will make you feel good. Then getting the coffee and drinking it would make you feel good. And even after, once the caffeine hits, you will feel good. That's all good experience before, while, and even after using the product. Now we know it's good, and you would have understood from yesterday why it's needed, but how do we create a good experience? So to come to that, what is the secret for great food? If you're making great food, what's the secret? Ingredients, presentation, taste, something that collates everything of that together? Recipe. So you need a recipe with all the ingredients and everything. That's what makes a great food. Even if you redo it, it still comes out good. So similarly, the recipe for creating a good user experience is the UX process. And now there are different flavors, like different recipes. There are different types of UX processes. So this is something we look at. You discover what is the problem we are going to solve, who are the users and what do they need, how should the experience be structured, how should it look, feel, and work, does it work for real users. Let's take a cake example. Say you're making a new type of cake for some people. So that's the problem. Who are the users? You find those people and ask what kind of cakes do you like. And after that, you have insights. Okay, they don't like very sweet ones. They like mild sweet, chocolate, like that. And then how should the experience be structured? Then you think of the cake, the layers, the top one, and how when they bite in, how the flavors should come, and how it looks and feels, the cake, the icing, the colors. But after you make the cake, the first prototype, you need to go to these users and give them a piece of cake and see whether they like it. Otherwise, you could have put a lot of efforts. Before you go into mass production, you need to give the cake, test it, and see. So that's kind of the UX process. Now, why this is important is, now with AI, now people would think we are short-circuiting the design. In 2 minutes, the design is done. But even with the AI, we need to follow this process. Within this process, AI will maybe make the quality better, make some time improvements, but you need to follow the process. For now, you don't know what AI will come up with, but for now, you need to follow the UX process. And yesterday, we heard about AI features on the app to enhance UX. So what I will be looking into is how AI can be used to improve the design process. So this is how design is going to evolve with AI. So currently we started from manual design without AI assisted. Now we are roughly at AI as a co-designer. Semi-autonomous design, end-to-end AI-driven, and continuous autonomous design. That's where they will make it, and according to the data, they will keep improving it. So the thing is, we are still not at a place where AI can do all the design. So using it now to create designs end-to-end would lead into maybe a bad user experience, and then more work for the user experience teams. So now to go through that process, we'll be taking some activities to help us. So we are going to design a fitness app. Okay. Now, first we are looking at the discovery stage. We are going to find out what is the problem, what about it. So what's the problem we are going to solve? That's what happens in the discovery stage. So we need to understand the requirement, problem, and learn the domain. And a lot of something that comes with us is we sometimes go into a new project, we don't know the domain. Now say this fitness app, I'm no expert on fitness. I haven't spent a day in a gym. So for me, I need to learn the domain first. Even if you are UX, BA, project manager, you come to a new project, you need to learn the domain. So through AI is a great way to learn the domain. You can also collate and synthesize the requirements and research similar problems, but we'll look at learning a domain. So now when you put a domain in, teach me this, you'll get a long text and you're like, no, I'm not going to read that. A better way is to understand the entire domain and to create a mind map. So that's what we are going to do now. I don't see much laptops there, so I'll just show how it's done. So this is creating a mind map through Miro. So again, I use the phaser one, and then let's see how it's done. So you go to Miro.com, and then you quickly sign up. Just a bit of a lengthy sign-up process. So you create a new board in Miro. You select diagram, then you select mind map, and then there's a prompt I have made. So in that link I have on there, it has all the prompts. It also has the steps. So even later you can try it out, and you get a mind map about fitness. So now I have a bird's eye view of the whole domain, and then I can drill deep. So when you're learning something, it's always good to start with a mind map of the entire domain, and then you can drill into it. Otherwise, you don't know from which end to start with. So from this, you get a mind map, and then you can edit it as you wish. So the created mind map. So this is the steps, and it's there in that as well. So very easy. You select the diagram, the mind map, and generate. And not only mind maps, there are quite a lot of documents you can create from Miro, and it's free. So then enhancing the research stage. So this is where you need to get details from the users. Who are the users? What do they need? So you need to identify the user segments, behaviors, and the competitor offerings. And what you can do is, with research, now you get a lot of data. When you interview people, you get a lot of video recordings, you get a lot of written ones, you get their responses. If you send out a survey, you have a big survey response. You all would have sent out surveys, no? And then you would have got a long list of surveys. Then you have to synthesize it. If you all have ever done a thesis and a research for that, you would have known the struggle. So what this would do is, it can easily synthesize that, summarize user interviews, storyboard. With the new image capability, you can create like a comic strip. You can show me how a user is using this product from this stage to this stage to this stage to this stage. And what we are going to do is a competitor analysis. So say you're doing a fitness app, we can do a competitive review from ChatGPT. Would you all like to try that? The prompt is in that link, so you can paste it and just see, and you'll get something like this. So in minutes you have it fixed. I didn't give it also the apps, MyFitnessPal, Nike Training Club, Strava, Fitbit. What are the unique features, the UX strengths, monetization model, user engagement tactics. So you can change this also. You can add on certain things and make it even more rich. And once you have done that, put it back to your prompt library so you can use it. So what earlier would have taken us days or even weeks to do a thorough competitor analysis, we can do it. But remember, when you're doing it, please say add references, because sometimes, again, hallucination. It might say something completely wrong. So we finished discovery, user research, then enhancing the design foundation. So foundation is like basically the foundation of a house, how it is structured, how the customers flow, the information architecture, how the information is there. When you go to a website, you see the menu top links. That is the information architecture. So how do you do it? So one thing we can easily do from this is you can draft the information architecture. There's a prompt for that as well. You can visualize persona, do customer journey, storyboarding, and user flows. Now, user flows or flow diagrams, I know every one of you all use, so I thought we'll do one on that. So you can define what you need the flow diagram for. So here we are going to do a flow diagram for the fitness onboarding. When he comes into the app for the first time, how he is going to go through it to make a flow diagram through AI. So there's a prompt. This prompt is also available. Your senior UX researcher, create the onboarding user flow. Professional context is 25 to 40, benchmark apps, and user flow format. So again, Miro. So on ChatGPT, user flow is still not that refined yet. So you just select flow chart. And it gives from welcome screen, create account, sign up, login, select your goals, enable notification, choose motivation style, and explore app features. This is a great way to start. Like I said, don't directly use this. You're going to run into trouble. But this is a great starting point for you to do that user flow. And because you will, the AI will see things you might not have seen, but you, with all your experience, know things more than this also. So you need to add on to this. Don't take this like what it comes, but take this as a starting position, and you can create better user flows, more quality user flows, and more user flows that much faster. So this is that user flow that we got. And again, in that link, you have the steps, because even after you go, you can try this out and see. Next is the visual design. This is what most people think is also sometimes UX. But like I said, it's the whole process is what is UX. So it is how it looks, feels, and also works. Wireframing, high fidelity design, prototyping. Now there's a common misconception. So you all have watched these two films. Which two? What are they? Oppenheimer and Barbie. So the misconception is coding UI design. You think UI design is making it nice and pretty and everything. But the reality is something like this. What people think is putting a lot of color, making it beautiful. It's actually using color and getting the user focus on where you need. Anyone knows this film? Schindler's List, yes. We have people with great movie taste here. So remember, it's not about making it colorful. It's about guiding the user to that correct place you want. So through AI now you can draft wireframes, draft visual designs, create prototypes, and also check for accessibility. Yesterday Mudita talked about accessibility. You can automate it to check whether this will serve visually impaired people, colorblind people, and like that. So activity number 5. So there are 2 apps, but now, so this is the thing. These presentations we were to submit about 2 weeks back. And when I was submitting it, ChatGPT didn't support it, but by the time now, ChatGPT also supports it, so just shows the speed at we are going. So even if you put the prompt I have in that library to ChatGPT, earlier it was only there for the Plus users, but now even for the free users, you can get some of the image capabilities and do it. Motif is also, I placed it here because it's free. Most UX individuals would use AI on Figma, but for that, sometimes there's a waiting line, you might not get it immediately, so that's why I put these 2. But even if you put it now in ChatGPT, within 2 minutes, you get a screen. So there's a prompt for that also. So here what we say is, how should be common Android phone screen size or iPhone screen size? And what we are asking it to create is a home screen for a fitness app. So this is how it's done in Motif. Sign up, Google, or another method, again a bit of a lengthy onboarding process. Choose the free one, and you create a new file. You select AI, generate UI. You paste the prompt. It takes a bit more time than it's shown in the video. I sort of sped it up, but in 2-3 minutes you will get these ones. Now you don't need to go into this much trouble. ChatGPT logged in version, you put this, you get a similar version. Okay. So these are the final visual designs. So again, this is good to get an idea for drafting the first outputs. Still, even in our team, we haven't used anything AI generated directly in the product again yet. Because still it's not that refined. We have to take it and then refine it afterwards. And also, it follows the same drawbacks which was mentioned yesterday, biases, things like that. So it happened in Figma, where it was trained a lot on the Apple weather app. So if you you say anything weather, the Apple weather app comes. So then they had to take it off again. So again, it depends on a lot of the training data as well. Next is the usability testing. Now, anyone who has done usability testing, I know here there might not be much, but it's a very rigorous process. You need to interview people, then record the video, then look at it again to see whether it works or not. So we need to check whether it works with the real users. We have to run tests and iterate it. So we can get automated session analysis, testing reports, and also finding participants. And for this step, it really improves the analysis part. So let me show before that. So you can create optimized questions. AI will give you questions. It will give you themes with the responses and insights from videos as well. You don't need to go through all the videos. Let's see.
Have you ever felt overwhelmed reviewing hours of usability test recordings? Hours of recordings and endless notes. It slows down your ability to get the insights you need. You're left wondering, isn't there a better way? That's why we built AI Summary. your new shortcut to user insights. Get instant summaries pulled straight from your unmoderated usability tests. No more endless note-taking or hours of video playback, just fast and clear feedback. So you can focus on what really matters, improving your product. UX Army's AI Summary analyzes your respondents' voice recordings and task details to provide project-level insights, which include sentiment analysis, key findings, and supporting verbatims color-coded to show different sentiments. At the respondent level, instead of spending hours scrubbing through long recordings, you can rely on AI Summary for a swift snapshot. Click on a timestamp to watch and hear the relevant part of the actual interaction yourself in the test recording. Let AI technology streamline your analysis workflow. Simply conduct your tests and tasks on UX Army, and our models will work their magic for you. Sign up and give it a try.
So the real interesting part of that is it analyzes and gives you where you need to look. So you don't need to look at the whole video. It will give you, okay, look at this part, this part, this part. It's interesting. And then when you look at it, you get the insights without going through everything. Okay, what will the future hold? The question, the million-dollar question in these sessions, what will happen with AI? Will we lose everything? What's going to happen with design? So in design, like I said, it will go like this. And at one point, we don't know when. There will be some people just directing it, but AI will play the majority role. So it's a matter of when. But it might take years, it might maybe take a couple of years, we don't know. So AI will evolve in ways we expect and in ways we don't. Important thing is we need to stay ahead and adapt. That means learning things like prompt engineering, understanding the basics of AI, how it works at a ground level. It's very important. Remember back then when IT was a thing, when IT came, everyone was like, we need to learn IT. We also went to courses. Mothers also said, yeah, we need to send him to IT class to learn it. So now the IT era is done. Now it's the AI era. Everyone needs to learn AI, whether we like it or not. And in design sense, of course, we need to embrace AI. It's going to make our lives really better designing. And I think in most fields. But I think in each of your fields, you will have a certain process to do certain things. And you need to stick to that process, stick to the method to the madness, while using AI to improve each of the steps. So what can we do? Yesterday there was a talk about the father of AI saying things will go all wrong. We are going to lose jobs. How many of you are anxious of AI? How many of you all are afraid? And yes, that's all there. But is that in our control? That's not so. Certain things will happen which are not in our control. But there is a huge circle of things we can do, which we can control. And that's what we need to focus on. There's a lot of things we can learn on AI. But are we doing the best we can right now? Even including me, I think, no, we all can do better. So we need to take one more step ahead, start maybe a prompt engineering course, start your prompt library. So a good course, again, not my course, but Google has a good prompt engineering course. I've done it. It's quite good, so it's a good starter. Because as soon as you complete that, you immediately get ahead. And you will be ready to surf the wave. They say AI is the next big wave. Either we can wait and go underwater, or we can try and surf the wave. Sometimes we might, sometimes we won't. But we need to be prepared to learn surfing, in this case AI, to manage that wave. So work on that. And the second thing is there will be a lot of other we will be in cross-functional teams. And we might think AI can really speed it up. But we also need to respect what the other person is doing and know there is a science for each person, what they are doing. And based on that, we need to learn what that is, and also, depending on that, give them the necessary resources, time to do it. Without knowing that, back to the first thing, without knowing what AI can do and can't do, let's not just go and tell people, why can't you do this faster with AI? First, we need to learn how we can do, what we can do, and what we can't. And then, yes, for the things we can do, yes. But the others, we need to make sure that we don't step that boundary. Okay, Q&A.
All right, thank you so much for those wonderful insights. Do we have any questions? We have time in this session, yes. I think you have a lot of questions to ask. I mean, it's a continuation from yesterday. We started with UI, and now we learned a lot about UI, UX especially. So if you have any questions, please put your hand up, so I'll hand over the mic.
So first up, thanks Nalin for that very engaging session. So this is probably a personal question to you. Just want to get your sentiment on this. So we've seen a lot of design work coming out of the AI that is available right now, right? So as someone who's into UX and who's probably spent a good part of your life really being passionate about this subject, what are your thoughts in terms of security for you, in terms of what you do?
So good question. Like I said, go back to this. So one is, with this new AI coming in, the people who survive are the people who really know the craft, the entire process, not the people who just do the screens. So people who know the craft will survive, will be able to do it. But again, we don't know how long. So that's why we need to build the complementary skills and be ready to what will come. It's also kind of like being agile. We don't know, but like I said, that's the circle of uncertainty which we have no control of, but there's a large part we can do, and we should focus on that and do it. There is still, like I said, there will be a lot of work coming out with a lot of people will just implement these AI things, and there'll be a lot of bugs and certain things, and then there will be there'll be a mini bubble again for UX people. But again, how long that will be there is unknown. But if you keep learning your craft, keep building supplementary skills on the side, that's the best you can do.
Okay, so I actually understood what you were told about hallucination, but it's just a little bit related to that. Think for an example, in university time, we actually have a presentation to do at the last stage as a Viva. We do the research, everything, and we present it. And definitely we are thorough about what the project is all about. If the lecturer asks any questions, we can definitely answer. Okay, for an example, think that we get another person, we pay another person to do the project, and think that 1 week before the Viva, we go through the entire project, we know the ins and out, and we present it. And the lecturer asks a completely different question, we'll get stuck because we don't know the course study and someone else did that. I mean, that will be the same scenario what I see at the moment when it comes to AI. So think that we do a proper project with the use of AI. Don't you think that it's going to be double work if we are to, as you get to know entire ins and out, what it did? Because think that a management or someone ask a question, why did we do this rather than follow this path? If we are to know the entire thing, then isn't it going to be a double work just to realize what the AI actually did?
Yeah. Thanks for your question. So yes, that's why if you don't use it properly, it will be double work. You need to take it as a the first draft, I would say, and then work on it. And that way, the time would go. But if you just take it and then present it to the board or CEO, and then he asks a question, and why did you put this? This is what I got. That won't be an answer. So even on universities, with a lot of students submitting through that, I think a lot of exams will go into vivas. Otherwise, no way of doing it. And I saw a joke recently. The current medical students are using ChatGPT, so you better stay healthy. Any more questions?
Nalin, yeah, this question is, I guess, more familiar for you and me as well, given we are in the same industry. Given now most of the technologies, there's a adaptation curve when it comes to like Southeast Asian countries. So given that context, and the more diplomatic leadership styles that we are engaging on a day-to-day basis, in my personal opinion, I would say we have ample enough time in order to adapt, and in terms of surviving or at least moving forward, using AI in UX as a co-pilot. So what are your take on this?
You're asking on the time we have to adapt, or?
At the same time, I mean, the conversation has always been UI UX can easily be replaced by the capabilities of AI.
Yeah. So thanks, great question. So the thing is, it's also a responsibility of the UX people to maybe teach the management or convey this to the management. It's part of our job also to educate them. Otherwise, they will be thinking, okay, 2-3 days. So even part of my work now is also educating the management, okay, even though AI is like this we can improve, this we can't. So again, in whatever industry, whatever your scope is, that also you might need to work with your management in a very cohesive manner. Otherwise, what will happen again is from top you will have a lot of pressure. Why can't we do it faster? I know you might have also got it with this AI. Why can't we do this faster? Do we need this many staff? When we put for a new resource, do we need? Or those questions will come. So again, we need to up our game and educate them on why this is needed. It's easier said than done, but it's also kind of part of the challenge of this AI revolution as well.
We can take some more questions if you have.
Any more?
All right then.
One more.
Yeah.
So the future of our industry, I'm talking wide IT industry, isn't human or machine, it's human with machine. So we are the leaders that will need to lead that future with both intention and empathy. So thank you all for being a great audience. Have a great day and enjoy the rest of the conference.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Nalin. Thank you so much. Thank you. Now inspiration. Okay, let me welcome Buaneka to hand over the token of appreciation to Nalin. Can you come on stage? Thanks, Nalin. Great stuff. All right. What do you want to do now? All right, now it's time to calibrate what we learned during the 2 days. Calibration can happen when we network. Network can't happen without a coffee, right? Or the coffee and the snacks are served at the exhibition hall, it's the 7th floor. Please also, when you go there, please visit our partner stalls. and go say hi to them. And also, if you have time, if you have done that gratitude feedback thing, you can go and paste it there. And then come back right on time, because we have 2 more workshops, and they're followed with a ceremony. And look forward to seeing you. All right, let's do the collaboration. All right, thank you, everyone. Thank you.